After an outstanding first half to their season, the Red Sox get ready for the second half. What they have and what they'll need to make their run in the second half. So even though Major League Baseball considers the All-Star game and the All-Star break the midpoint of the season, in terms of games, the Red Sox are now into the second half of the season. They completed the first 81 games of the year at 48-33, and I think if you asked any Red Sox fan coming into the season, would you sign for 15 games over 500 in the first half of the season, I think it would have been a resounding yes. And the Sox have really overachieved a little bit, and they've really been truly outstanding in the first half. They've had some excellent comeback wins. Their pitching staff has suffered some injuries and some inconsistency, and yet the Red Sox and their offense particularly has risen above it. Now, the Sox offense has been better than advertised so far this season. They're pretty much second or third in most offensive categories, and let's face it, with all the pitching inconsistency and injuries, the offense has really carried this ball club. But for the second half of the season, the Red Sox are going to need some reinforcements in the pitching department. And that means getting Clay Buchholz healthy for the remainder of the season. They need this guy to be an ace for them, and he's been that so far this season with a 9-0 record and 1.71 ERA. He just hasn't made enough starts. It's as simple as that. Jon Lester has shown a lot of inconsistency throughout the season. His last start against Toronto, he was much better. He went out with a problem in his hip, but hopefully that's something that is not going to keep him out long term. But the big thing for the Red Sox, as far as the starting pitching goes, they need to get another pitcher in there, an ace-like guy that can help them at the top of the rotation. Because the back end of their rotation has really been good. John Lackey is 5-5. His record should be better. His ERA is under 3, and I'm telling you, so far my prediction has been right. He has pitched like a guy that's rejuvenated and has pitched like a top-of-the-rotation pitcher, but he is in his mid-30s, so he's not going to be expected to carry the load at the front of the rotation. If he just keeps doing what he's doing, I think the Red Sox and their fans should be more than satisfied. That also goes for Ryan Dempster, who's had some moments when he's not been so good this year, but for the most part, he's done his job as a veteran pitcher, and if he continues to do it, that means nothing but good things for the Red Sox. And Felix Doubront has had flashes of brilliance and also flashes of inconsistency, but as a number 5 starter, again, you can more than live with what he's doing. But it comes down to the Sox bringing in another arm in that rotation, and if you can get Cliff Lee for a reasonable price and he's available, you got to go out there and try and acquire him from the Phillies. If he's not available, you get somebody else that's a number 2 maybe quality starter and insert him in there, because with all the uncertainty with Buchholz and the inconsistency of Lester, you need another guy in there to give you innings and keep you in ball games and give you a chance to win every time out, because long losing streaks do not produce division titles, and the Red Sox so far have not really had a long losing streak except for a little blip that they had the end of April and in early May. And as for the bullpen, who knows what's going to happen with Andrew Bailey. He's been very inconsistent, and because of that, the Red Sox probably need to go out and get another bullpen arm to lengthen that bullpen out. They need more arms pitching for them effectively, and with Joel Hanrahan on the DL and Bailey just about not having a role right now because he can't get anybody out, it's very questionable if the Red Sox bullpen, with the overuse that it's had in the first half, can sustain that without adding another guy in the second half. So look for Ben Cherington to try to acquire a starter and a relief pitcher at the trade deadline. But for now, you have to be happy with what the Red Sox have done at 48-33. So heading into the second half of the season, what do you think the Red Sox need to do for them to keep on this hot streak and move on to the playoffs? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and tell all your friends about This Week in Red. And don't forget to check out my blog at BoSoxInjection.com.